What's up everybody, Jordan here, back with another video. Today is kind of a workout vlog today. We're going to be hitting shoulders and triceps. I'll go over my split, maybe another video or maybe at the end of this one, but stay tuned for that. Gonna be hitting a few different movements, I think 4 or 5 different exercises. About 2 sets on every exercise. Heavy today, lowish volume. It's all about stimulating, not annihilating with volume today. Something kind of trying out my training, which I'll talk about later. First movement we're gonna hit today is a standing shoulder press. Hypertrophy-wise, maybe not the most optimal movement of all time. Lateral raises, bent over lateral raises, even machines are probably all you really need for well-developed shoulders. I do a lot of standing barbell press because of strongman aspirations, and I enjoy being able to press stuff over my head. I like the lift. It translates well to stuff like log press and other movements like that I want to get better at. So I do include it in my training from time to time. We're gonna start out with standing shoulder press, 2 sets of like 5 to 6 reps. Keep it pretty heavy. Ceiling's pretty low. We'll do our best to press and not hit the ceiling. I was gonna do seated barbell press this phase, but I'm doing kind of a high incline press on the chest movement day. So we're gonna kind of shy away from doing 2 movements that are too similar. So I'm gonna do a standing one. We'll start there, warm up thoroughly with maybe 3 warm-up sets, and then hit our 2 top sets. Last warm up here probably. Then I can make a, I don't know, 30-pound jump, something like that, and hit my 2 working sets. That's the worst. So I decided to jump up 40 pounds up to 175 for my first working set. A little dicey, this is week 1 of doing this, so it's kind of a guessing game on what I could get. Based on things like incline press, log press, I think I could do this for my working sets. The floor is kind of 4 reps I want to get to for sure. Top end about 6, so if I get 6, I could always increase the weight next week. If I get less than 4, 2 or 3, I'll probably want to decrease and do a back off set here, and then also next week if I overshot a little bit. I'm hoping to get at least 4 or 5. 6 would be awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's my first lift. I've only lifted 4 or 5 reps total, so I'm fresh. I'm wearing a belt, that'll help. It's just a matter of guessing that working weight. We'll see. Try to do it without smashing the mic too. We'll see what happens. Some will say that didn't look pretty. With the back arching, really doesn't matter to me as long as I'm tight and, kind of pushing through at the top. A little arch in the back to get it off is kind of how a log press goes, and that's why I'm a little looser with that. And honestly, it's fine as long as you're not losing your tightness. So I'll watch that clip back too and see if it looked terrible, but got 5. So I'll stick on this weight for 1 more set of 4 or 5 today and probably stay at this weight for another week based on how heavy that was. This is kind of a push B day in my week, where push A was chest and tris, and this is push B with shoulders and tris, but one of the tricep movements is kind of chest bias in a close grip press. So, and also this is chest bias. You're hitting some front delt, and mostly front delt and upper chest too. So we'll hit the second set, be done with the biggest lift of the day, and on to some isolation work for the shoulders. See what we can do. It was heavy the first time. It was a PR. I looked in my app rep count that I use as a PR for 5 anyways. Previous best was 165, so a 10-pound PR. I haven't used this variation in, maybe 4 months. So that's always nice to see that the other work you're doing is translating into different variations. Enough jibber jabber. Let's do it. Next lift, like I said, is a lying cable lateral raise. I'm gonna be lying here on this low incline bench and cross cabling with wrist cuffs. It's a whole torture chamber setup here, but essentially just trying to isolate side delts as much as possible, take the momentum out of it. And I find with this variation, I can actually push weight week by week and increase like it's a good strength movement, which is hard for stuff like dumbbell laterals. So this is fairly heavy, but I am up in the rep range from, 4, 5, 6 to 6 to 10, somewhere in there. Get it a little bit lighter, but still fairly heavy for the variation. So that's set one. Just fine. It's a good variation because you can't start swinging and leaning and doing all kinds of crazy momentum. It's all side delt and some rear delt to get that thing started, which I like. What I find with this one though, if I can do 10 on set one, I can do 10 on set two. I could probably keep going, but you don't have to just keep on hammering the muscle group to see growth. So we're gonna do only one more set, probably of 10, and next week I'll move up in weight and get down to that 8 rep range again and double progress that way. Shoulder day is kind of something that I miss doing higher volume because I just came from a higher volume program into this lower volume one for a little bit, which like I said, I'll talk about at the end. I like doing high volume shoulders because the shoulder pump is really fun, I think, to get the cannonball shoulders and feel all pumped there doing high reps and stuff, but it's actually not necessary for growth and can actually hold you back. So I miss that sometimes though with arm day and shoulder day, of course, vain as I am. Sometimes the low volume is kind of nice for stuff like back and legs though. So I'll rest 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and then hit set 2. So last part here, shoulder day of the 3 movements, 6 sets we're doing today for shoulders, rear delt flies. Again, this is push day 2. I have different rear fly variations on push day 1, which you haven't seen yet. This one is just a simple cable rear fly, or kind of like my replacement of the pec deck rear fly with cables. Going a little lighter here, gonna stay hopefully in that 10 range, 8 to 10 still, but gonna really focus on scapular protraction, I guess it would be. So not squeezing your back as you pull and including all of your traps, but keeping the shoulder blades apart. So instead of just pulling hands back and squeeze, you're going out with the cables to try to isolate the rear delt a little bit more. Finding that fine line of going heavy enough with intensity, but still isolating. 2 sets, 8 to 10. Too heavy. Too heavy. That's one of those times, like I said, I'm walking that fine line week 1 to know. I knew right from rep 1 I'd have to kind of force it and cheat So we're gonna drop from 35 to 25 pounds. Make sure we can truly isolate. We're gonna hit that for another set. Did 10. It's a tricky line too of cheating failure, like what's partials, jerking the motion, all that crazy stuff, versus just like perfect form failure, which is like, when do my shoulder blades start coming back? When do I lose the feeling on the rear delt? It's failure, but more like task failure, not true failure, if there's such a thing. So shoulders were the main focus today. 3 exercises. Once you hit 6-8 sets in a workout, you know, you're pretty taxed anyways, fatigued. So everything from that point on is going to be less effective for muscle growth. So you have to kind of prioritize what's the main priority in your day and do that first. Shoulders was today. Secondary is triceps. Like I said, we're gonna have bias chest with the first tricep movement. So tertiary or third muscle of the day is going to be chest. So we're gonna just hit a little bit of chest with a press. So I'm gonna hit a close grip Swiss bar press. This is very tricep focused. It's meant to be for triceps. Elbows are gonna be tucked, but chest is involved. There's no taking the chest out of it. So that's gonna be the little bit of minor chest, you know, 2 sets that it's gonna get today, plus the overhead press, or whatever that counts as. And this is kind of the heavy tricep movement of the day for the secondary focus. And then after that, we're just gonna hit an isolation and be all done. Another movement here, since I'm week 1, I don't really know where to start. And that's usually what we gotta do if you're at a new gym or including new exercises. You don't necessarily know where your strength lies. I know I've hit 175 for 8 or so before, so I'm gonna probably get up to 185, 190, I don't know. Again, with keeping proper form. I'm trying to hit the triceps here, not, you know, max weight in a powerlifting meet for some lift like no one cares about. It's all about good form and intensity to get to that almost failure point. So we'll warm up with a few sets and see where we stand. So this is kind of wild. I knew my pressing strength has improved a lot over the past 4 to 6 months, but this is flying, and that's 175, which on my app was all I had done in the past, which was in context of where it was in the workout later, maybe higher volume overall for the training day. You know, this is cake and definitely not a set of 5 or 6. So I'm gonna kind of have to do a few more warm-ups and work up to a heavy set of 5 or 6 and see where I'm at. 175 is easy. We're gonna maybe get to, you know, 225 and see how that feels. And actually I'm cocky enough here. I'm not gonna do more warm-up sets because I'm warm. I'm just gonna put on 2 plates and see if I can squeak out 5. I don't know if you guys can hear this kid pushing this little lawnmower around, but it is so loud. Hard to think, let alone talk. I'll see what 2 plates feels like. If it's heavy right when I lift it off, I'll drop it down to like 205. You know, a 50-pound jump is a lot in a press, but 175 I could have done for 15, it seemed like. So hopefully I'm judging this right and not just being stupid. That's light. Again, a little bit light. We're gonna throw a couple 10s on and start our work set there. I am very pleased about this because I am a lifelong poverty presser. Weak bench, weak incline, weak shoulder press. And to be throwing around bigger boy weights is a wonderful feeling. Takes a long time. Here we go. Hit the weight, got the PR, felt good. Eyes are watering even from it. A lot of pressure. Shoot. Yeah, that was good. Like I said, we got the PR, but it's still heavy for me. I'm just not that solid of a presser, but man, it's getting better. That's a 50-pound PR almost from the last time I did this lift. All things considered with the workout structure. That's great. Second set, I'm gonna back off because that was a RPE 11, if that exists. I'm gonna drop down to 195 from 245. Oh shoot, that wasn't a 50-pound PR. That was like a 70-pound PR. So no, we'll drop to 205. So down about 40 pounds and hit set 2, somewhere around 6+ reps. Kind of a back off set to get more volume on the triceps and a little bit cleaner work than what that was. That was a little bit ugly feeling anyways. Eight. Last movement of the day is the tricep isolation, unilateral movement, cross body, push down, kind of like this movement. Set the cable to the max height. As you do it, your arm should be pulling up to down, not across. So you're not going from here to here, you're going from here down. You'll see what I mean. Where's your red ball? Good job. Not yet. Don't touch. And that'll do it for another training session. Like I said, fairly low volume. That was 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 sets total, 55 minutes of training. But essentially that's how I'm training right now. I'll go over my split, maybe next video or the video after, talking about why I structured it, how I structured it. Essentially, I've come to the realization that fatigue is your worst enemy when you're trying to make progress. I have twin boys and a toddler as well, who you saw in the gym today. And that obviously takes its toll. Work 2 jobs, make content, busy life, on purpose. I love it, wouldn't change it, but it's busy. And gym fatigue adds on top of that. When I do super high volume training, I can do it, I can push through it, and I enjoy it. Like I said, especially shoulder and arm day and stuff like that. But the fatigue builds and builds and builds. And by week 3, 4, 5, you're typically so beat up. Little injuries build up. I had a little back tweak happen. A lot of soreness happens. Your sleep gets disrupted. And even physiologically, more fatigue in your training sessions hinders the muscle growth you make. So it's not always a good thing to be dead tired and fatigued at the end of a training session. Famous saying, stimulate, don't annihilate, right? That's kind of the goal. So I'm kind of reverting to minimum effective dose, meaning how can I do less to get the same amount of results or more? And I think in terms of strength gain, it'll be more, which is something I'm very excited about. Trackable progressive overload, where I can improve on lifts like the overhead press and the close grip Swiss bar press. That's much easier to progress and keep track of progression when you're not battling fatigue and soreness constantly. There's a time and a place for hard workouts, especially mentally. And I mean, this workout wasn't easy. It's just less. And you just got to push extra hard on those sets and make them count, which I think is a benefit of itself. It's kind of that high versus low volume debate. There's pros to both sides, cons to both sides. I like doing in phases, like a little bit of high volume, a little bit of low volume, just to keep myself in shape in different rep ranges. But I think the best results typically come from low to moderate volume, which, you know, could be 6, 8, 10, 12 sets in a workout total, and maybe only 6 for a muscle group in that training session. That's what I'm doing right now. We'll review more specifics on my split and sets and volume in a later video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything related to that. Good stuff to come on the Stoltz Fit channel. Thank you for watching this one. Just your run-of-the-mill workout vlog, I guess, in the home gym with the toddler running around, whatever exercises I can get done here in this facility, the dog pound. That'll do it for today. Peace, everybody.